We're waiting to get a lot of new details from the FBI. Right now, they won't confirm to us if this is or is not being investigated as an act of terror. They say at this point they just don't know. They're telling us that the suspect is being questioned by law enforcement right now as they're trying to learn more about what this person's motive was in all of this. The biggest thing here, what we've been waiting for all day, the FBI has confirmed this as being investigated as an act of terrorism. We now know a little bit more about who carried out this attack as well. We are told his name is Amor Tui, and he is around 50 years of age and from Canada. He came to the airport this morning, but he was not traveling through the airport. He did not have a ticket. He was not boarding a plane or deplaning here. He was in the airport's public area, so before security, and we're told that he went to a restaurant. He had something to eat. At some point, he went into a restroom, a public restroom that is before the security checkpoint, and he then went through his bags possibly. He came out. He had 2 bags with him, but what he came out with was something that wasn't seen before he went in. He had a knife. It was about 12 inches long with an 8-inch serrated blade. And when he came out, that's when he selected the officer. It was Officer Jeff Neville. He is a lieutenant at the airport with the police department, previously worked with the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. He attacked him, stabbing him in the neck. And when he did that, when he started attacking the officer, that's when he yelled out several things.
I yelled Allah Akbar and stabbed Lieutenant Neville in the neck.
Bill, to give you an idea of where we are, this is South Saginaw Road right here. We're between Bristol and Maple in Burton. This is where it all started, at this Admiral gas station. The mother pulled up, parked her car, and went inside to get something. Police say that's when the man jumped in and took off. But in the back seat were her 2 children, her nearly 3-year-old daughter Ariana and her 9-month-old son Lincoln.
I ran in to get cigarettes of all things.
Moments later, her car and her kids gone.
My window was cracked, so I did say, you know, my kids are in the car, and it made them speed off faster.
It was a long 3 hours for Ariana and her baby brother, but the 2 were found safe, still inside this dark blue Monte Carlo on Flint's north side.
Thank God.
The children's grandmother crying and overwhelmed with joy when she heard the good news. The flooding has gone down significantly since what we've been seeing over the weekend, but as you can see here, still a lot of water covering the roadway. Like you said, this is Curry Parkway in Midland. You can really smell the strong odor coming from this water, and unfortunately that family just a few doors down here down the street, their basement is still full of this smelly brown water.
You can see where the water is currently.
It's a nightmare that still isn't over for new homeowners Rachel and Darren Studebaker. From easily replaceable things like beds and clothes to the priceless treasures like their son's baby books, it's all still sitting under 4 feet of water.
All of their information is just gone. So it's just tragic that I don't have that anymore, and I can't get it back. You know, my 5-year-old, God, I don't remember when he got his first tooth. If I looked in a book, I'd know, but I'll never know again.
Yeah, Dave, we're in downtown Fenton at the Fenton Community Center right now. You can see all this behind me. To give you an idea of the damage, this is the roof. Here's a piece of the roof tiles right here. This has been blowing around all day, and you can see people picking this up. This is the roof, and this is the second half of it. Part of it blew off earlier today, and then the second half came down later in the afternoon. The people you're looking at right now, these are all volunteers. They're here on their own time to help pick up all of these pieces of the roof that have been blowing around all day, and it's been going into the street too. We're right next to Leroy Street. That's the main drag in downtown Fenton. So some of this has been blowing into the cars here. And for the people who were inside today, I spoke with one of them, that's Harrison Cipher, and he says it's been a hectic day.
Debris was flying into cars and people were trying to drive down the street and they couldn't because stuff was just flying off. So.
Is it bowling or is it football?
This is new, it's fun.
This growing trend merges the 2 popular sports together as one. Here it's called bomb bowling.
We set up bowling pins and you have teams of up to 10.
It's awesome. It's great.
Sean Detloff and his family are first-timers to Hub Stadium, which is in the former Big Buck Brewery that's in Auburn Hills. Still, Sean's 11-year-old daughter seems to have this game figured out.
I like the underdog.
You like that the best? Have you been winning? So this is how it works. 4 people are typically on the lane at a time. 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And around the lanes, floor-to-ceiling netting.
Whoever knocks down the opposing team's pins down first wins the game.
When you're throwing, you can come up to this red line. But let's just say there are some players who get up just a little bit closer.
Kind of make up our rules while we go.